It's August 13th today, and the food forest is still in high production. At first glance, this might seem messy in here or something, but everything in here has a purpose and has a function. This is functional design. Let me take you through, show you how everything's doing. Let's go. The growth this year, guys, has been amazing. The production, the highest it's ever been. It's the 5th year of the food forest. And we heard from people that the 5th year was a big year. The 7th year is a huge year, especially for your fruit trees. We noticed the 3rd year was a big year. The 3rd year, the 5th year, and the 7th year seem to be real big, real fun years for food forestry. Look at the investments we've put in, all paying off. Little investments, a lot of them perennial. One's as small as an echinacea, a perennial you put in. You don't get as much the first year or two, but then it comes through strong. Fruit trees may not get anything out of them the first couple of years. A few years after that, as long as you're patient, those investments really pay off. We've got some CATAWBA grapes actually ripe right in here. Let me grab a couple of them. Look at that, fresh grapes. These ones are seedless too. I love them. It's like candy. So good. The bees are still in here doing work too. Peeking through into the food forest. It's a good place to be, especially for a bee. Got that nice borage there to work on. He's got zinnias to his right. I got Tuck working here with me, hanging out. Then I got Forrest over here too. She's a good girl. She produces a lot of eggs for us. Tucky, how you doing, boy? You liking the food forest, boy? Yeah, he's a good dog. I love this guy. Let me get inside there, guys. Show you some more of the investments we made. Show you how they're paying off. Just a couple days ago, maybe 2 days ago, we harvested cucumbers. I showed you guys, I put a video out. We can already come out and get more. The level of production is just, like I had said, it's a lot of fun coming out here. I almost feel like Willy Wonka at times, just like grabbing all different snacks and everything. And we're providing such a beautiful environment for bees and so many insects and birds. All the birds I've showed you that have nested in here. How many birds the food forest has raised this year, it's been amazing to me. Such an incredible feeling, being so connected. You know, the difference between being in my lawn and being in my food forest, it's like night and day. The level of connection with just like the natural environment, and it just feels awesome. More cucumbers. And it also just feels amazing having, with the level of security, in a sense of food security, to come out here and just be able to eat as much of the best food in the world as I want. Knowing I'm going to get more and more as days go on, weeks go on. So that's a real good feeling. One of the reasons I think everyone should have a system like this at Food Forest, and tomato seems to be doing well. Moved some more potted plants over to here to get some more light. They were on the side of the garden. It's pretty cool right here. We've got 2 purple basil. I planted both of them. Same seed pack. This one here is leaning towards more of like a green leaf with a purple vein and purple stem and stuff, when this one's all purple. So I have a number of these all purple ones, but this is the only one that came up that I have the purple veining. So I'm gonna save seed from this one. I think that's pretty cool. Try to keep that variety going. Rip out the other ones so they don't cross-pollinate. Tomatoes here, still producing, so delicious. And we've got some birds working, you know, putting that potassium, phosphorus, fertilizing the tomatoes. As it rains, it'll drop it down. We'll have to wash that one off, but it'll drop it down and that'll fertilize the ground. So always getting that natural fertilization by bringing in the birds, drawing in the beneficial insects. A lot of nature, it just all helps. You know, Bill Mollison talks about it, how the squirrels, you know, all the animals, the birds and stuff, those are the messengers of the forest. Those are actually literally a part of the forest. You can't separate them. All the plants and stuff, they cannot move. They're stationary, but the animals and stuff, those are the messengers. They move everything around. They move the seeds around. You know, they mix the soil around a little bit. So they're really important, and you can't separate them if you want a food forest. They have to be part of it. You just gotta have to have a good balance of it with the birds. You don't want them taking everything, but you just got to be smart with it. Use a few good practices. Let nature do the work if you want to grow a food forest, because you have to step in and be a part of it as a steward. Guide it along as a parent, not baby it out here sitting watering every day, or you're not going to get the level of production you want. You got to let nature do its work. Let the wood chips do the work. Build soil. People ask me a lot about pest damage. Look at the pest damage on this. Non-existent. Or the pest damage on this tomato here. Or over here. I do so many things they say you shouldn't do. Planting some things next to each other they say you shouldn't. And most of the time I don't have problems. Why is that? The main reason is because my soil is just so good. I spent years building the soil by this thick wood chip mulch. And patience. The first year I had some pest damage. Heavier than any other year. Every year it gets better. Less pests, less disease, higher production. There's another one of those purple basils. The zinnias come back. I planted these over here one time. They come back. One of the reasons they do is because plant of identification. I can see these when they're young, really young, and I'll notice those, I'll leave them. Let them pop right up. Here's the birds working for us again. Fertilizing. That's our phosphorus and potassium. Potassium is important to keep the plant health up. That's where we don't ever worry about adding potassium or anything. We just know our plant health is high because our nutrient levels are high, because our organic matter content is high. Echinacea is looking beautiful. This is the front corner of our garden. And you can see what we did here in this front corner. We put a lot of flowers. Most flowers at any spot of the garden. The idea behind that was draw the beneficials right to the center of the garden. Right to the front corner of the garden. Once we draw them into the front corner, have more flowering things. Everything in here flowers at some point. But echinaceas and all different kind of flowering things and plants, those will draw the beneficials into the center of the food forest. Once they're in here, those insects and everything, they're not going to want to leave. This is their perfect environment. No pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides, no sprays. All natural. Oh, it looks like we got a pear that dropped. These ones are ripe, ready to go. Yeah, so I'm going to be picking these real soon. Maybe today I'll come out and pick them all. Let me get this one. Looks like a good one. Yeah, when they fall off the ground like this, you can't get better. It's morning too, so it's still a little cool. Let me try this baby. Oh yeah, best one of the year, by far. So sweet, so juicy. Makes everything worth it. Makes the time that it took to get it way worth it. But actually that tree was only in for in its second year started producing. But we had been building soil for a few years, for 3 years by the time we put it in. Here's the zucchinis we just put in. Look at the health on these. Zucchinis, tomatoes. Look at the place we planted them in. This is a hazelnut. Look at the size of it, it's huge. This is the south side of that plant. That's the south right here. This zucchini is planted on the north side of that hazelnut. That's crazy. Underneath an apple tree. But it's on the south side of the apple tree. It might be on the north side of the hazelnut, but in the summer the sun comes right over top. So by observation we knew that we could plant zucchini here. We knew we would get production, and look at them. Doing beautiful. Getting high levels of production in small amounts of space. Right back there you can see flowering. That's dill. It's got the umbrellica flower, where it shoots itself out like an umbrella, like a coriander would or a yarrow. Great for drawing in beneficial insects. Ideal. Here we've got the Moonglow pear. Looking beautiful. Pears are huge this year. I've got pretty big hands. That's a good sized pear right there. Happy with that size. Good production. This is in a good spot in the garden, in the food forest, right in kind of the center south side. which is a nice area. Pulled some more potted stuff into the center here of the garden to get some more light. Some basils. Here's a basil in the ground. It's the one that looks the best. Some more tomatoes ripening up. Then we've got some ground cherries in a pot here. This is loaded with ground cherries. Gonna eat some of those as they ripen. Peppers, and gotta have the parsley. Something you always want to be growing. It grows so late into the winter too, so cold hardy. Morzuk's doing great. Got the male and female flowers getting ready to pump out some zucchinis for us. Cucumbers have just been ridiculous this year, the level of production. This looks like another Juliet, but this one looks like it's got a larger size fruit on it. So whenever you're going to grow from seed, there's always going to be a little bit of variation, which I've showed you, obviously, with the basils. The raspberries are producing now. We've been eating raspberries. Love raspberries. I like the yellow ones better than the red ones though, but I do love raspberries. Here we go. Some niceys. Some nice ones. Bees working. Loving it. Had so much rain recently. I feel like the bees are just like so happy that we've got a little bit of sunshine, even though it's a little cloudy right now. Here's our biggest tomato, soldaki. This thing's, I need to restake it. It's gotta be over 7 feet now, probably. Looking beautiful. And some of these apples, they don't look good, that's for sure. It's got bad apple scab on it, but we'll get some apples from it. Every year it's gonna get better. That's the thing, when you're building soil like this, every year you get less disease problems. Every year less pest damage. That's why I always talk about it being an investment. That was only part 1, guys. I had so much footage, I needed to break it into 2 parts. So part 2 will be coming out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you in the next one.